Hello and welcome to SaltWire today for Tuesday, May 2nd. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Nova Scotia's official opposition is calling on the Houston government to act faster when it comes to the province's housing crisis. In a statement from the Liberal Party, they say Nova Scotians are left with few options as housing starts are expected to decrease in what's already a heated housing market. The Liberals report that according to the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, not only is supply not keeping up, but rental increases will also continue to rise. Liberal Housing Shadow Minister Braden Clark says in part, the government has teased a housing plan that is supposed to come out at some point this spring, but clearly Nova Scotians can't afford to keep waiting and waiting for the Houston government to do something to address this housing crisis. They're now calling on the Houston government to introduce measures in the House that would increase housing supply in the province. And Sheldon McLeod will have more on this when he speaks with Braden Clark coming up on Thinking Out Loud. William Sandeson is appealing his recent conviction and sentence for second-degree murder in the shooting death of fellow Dalhousie University student Taylor Sampson during a drug deal in August 2015. Sandeson filed a notice with the Nova Scotia Court of Appeal yesterday. 30-year-old Sandeson stood trial in Dartmouth this winter on a charge of first-degree murder. The jury found him guilty of second-degree murder, which carries a life sentence. At a recent hearing on April 20th, the judge decided Sandeson must serve 15 years of his sentence before he can apply for parole. But in his notice of appeal yesterday, Sandeson says the judge at his recent trial erred in law by failing to remedy an abuse of process and by failing to find police searches of his apartment and breached his charter rights. Sandeson wants the appeal court to stay his proceedings because of an abuse of process or exclude the evidence seized during the searches. He will be eligible to apply for parole in August 2030 when he will be 37 years old. Online tributes have been pouring in today after news broke late last night that legendary Canadian singer-songwriter Gordon Lightfoot has passed away. 84-year-old Lightfoot died around 7:30 p.m. local time in hospital in Toronto. His family reported his death was from natural causes. The Scotiabank Centre here in Halifax tweeted, like the rest of Canada, we are sad to lose Gordon Lightfoot. He was the first performer to play at Scotiabank Centre at our opening weekend on February 18th, 1978, and he returned in 1979, 1990, 2002, 2010, and finally 2014. Farewell, Gordon. The Orillia, Ontario-born music icon who was known best for his classic hits such as Early Morning Rain, The Wreck of Edmund Fitzgerald, and If You Could Read My Mind, had canceled his North American tour last month due to unspecified health issues. Preparations are underway for the 2023 East Coast Music Awards, with events kicking off tomorrow. The 35th annual festival, a 5-day celebration showcasing East Coast music, is being held here in Halifax with a lineup of more than 120 artists and bands performing on stages across the city leading up to the weekend awards gala. It will start with a sunrise ceremony at 9 a.m. tomorrow, followed by an opening blessing and kickoff at noon. There will be daily programming from 12 to 4 p.m. A Wajaywanin Cultural Circle will be held, which is a Mi'kmaq word which translates to come with us, and it is the name for an Indigenous showcase starting tomorrow at the Grand Parade. Lit teepees, a sacred fire, set the scene for the traditional Mi'kmaq hand drumming and many styles of competitive Indigenous dances, as well as other special events. It will close with a showcase of drumming, dance, and spoken word performances on Saturday. An annual memorial basketball tournament recently held in Yarmouth called Play for Grey is in memory of 20-year-old Grayson Smith, who died in August 2017 by suicide. The tournament highlights the love he had for the game and also aims to raise awareness over the issues of mental health and encourages people who are struggling to reach out for help. SaltWire's Tina Camo has that story.
A basketball community that truly felt like a basketball family came out to play in honor of a special person and a special cause in Yarmouth. The Play for Grey, Grayson Smith Memorial Tournament was held at the Yarmouth High School Gymnasium on April 28th and 29th. The tournament was started in memory of Grayson Smith, who died at the age of 20 in August 2017. The tournament was seen as a way to help the community and Grayson's family and friends heal from his death, while also shining awareness and attention on the issues of mental health and suicide. Rhoda Ross, one of the tournament's organizers, says neither issue is spoken enough about, and that certainly is the case when it comes to the promotion of men's mental health, which she also says needs more attention. Basketball is used as the medium to spread this message and to remember and honor Grayson, whose love and passion for the sport began the first time he held a basketball in his hands. He played on numerous teams and made many friendships throughout those years. He is remembered for his hustle on the court and his talent as a player. 12 teams took part in the Play for Grey tournament, and the weekend saw nearly $4,400 raised, which will help to provide bursaries to graduating students and will also be used to sponsor senior basketball players at both Yarmouth and Drumlin High Schools, which Grayson attended and played basketball at. The weekend's 50-50 proceeds will also support the Thomas Nickerson Memorial Bursary, started in honor of a Yarmouth County teen who died in a motor vehicle accident last year, just weeks after his graduation. Said Ross about the tournament, "At the heart of it, I hope it helps someone reach out and they know that they don't have to be alone. Every year, I think if Grayson were here to see this, he would know he was not alone. We're all here for him." This is Tina Camo reporting for SaltWire in Yarmouth.
It's time now for a glimpse of today's Thinking Out Loud with Sheldon McLeod. Today, Sheldon is speaking with Liberal housing critic Braden Clark.
Housing starts are going to be challenged by labor, that having enough people to build the homes. Last year it was materials, this year it's people. So what's your solution?
Yeah, that's a really difficult one, to be honest with you. And I don't think anybody knows exactly how to solve that just yet. I know the government is trying to do some things on the tax side, for example. So, making tradespeople eligible for no income tax up to $50,000 and so on. And we'll see if that works. But I also think we need to be looking at expanding, skilled trades programs at places like NSCC and so on, making apprenticeships, making sure that requirements work. So there's ratios that might be out of date on the apprenticeship side to make sure that, if you want to be a Red Seal carpenter or plumber or electrician, instead of taking 24 months to get into the job force, maybe it takes 18 or 12.
And for Sheldon's full conversation, head to the opinion section of saltwire.com. Time now for the Atlantic Sports Wire, presented by Scott Squires.
Thanks, Kate. SaltWire's Katie Jean took a dip in Halifax Harbor this past weekend to raise funds for Special Olympics. Here's part 2 of my conversation with Katie, and I ask her about the aftermath of her harbor polar plunge. There was a really neat picture afterwards of you kind of laying on your back, arms over your head with a caption. I know a little bit of the backstory or the story of it, but kind of talk me through that picture, who took it and what the caption was.
That was my mom took the picture. So when I went into the water, I made a really bad mistake. I kind of just threw myself in, and I ended up going in sideways and ended up on my back, and I panicked. So I ended up opening my eyes underwater and my mouth. I know what the harbor tastes like now, and I'll never forget it. So when I got up to the surface, because I had opened my eyes underwater, I couldn't see. And I just started swimming, more thrashing. And I didn't even know which direction I was going in. So I got up the steps, and I was still half panicked. And I went to warm up. I was with my mom, and I just wanted to go and process what I had just done. So we were sitting on the pier, and it was a really nice sunny day. And my thought process was the wood will absorb some of the water, and also the wood was warm. So I just kind of laid down and hoped that the pier would help me. But I was a broken man on a Halifax pier was the caption, and I get the Rogers song now.
For my full conversation with Katie, you can click on the video link at saltwire.com and also visit our SaltWire YouTube channel. And remember, when you're there, give it a like and subscribe. In Halifax, I'm Scott Squires for the Atlantic Sports Wire.
Thank you, Scott. On to weather now. To see what's coming up in the forecast, we're going to check in now with our weather specialist, Alistair Alders.
Thanks, Kate. Well, certainly not as wet and windy out here today compared to yesterday, but it was another damp and dreary day in HRM. Thanks to a low-pressure system that really has nowhere to go. We'll see much the same in the forecast for the next few days before conditions improve and we see the return of some sunshine. This evening we'll have mainly cloudy skies with a chance of showers and drizzle, the temperature near 5 degrees. And walking out the door tomorrow morning, the temperature near 4 degrees with cloudy skies and a chance of showers and drizzle. Mainly cloudy on your Wednesday afternoon, chance of showers and drizzle continuing. Overall, I do think dry, but can't completely dodge these showers and drizzle at times. And tomorrow's high, 7 degrees, which is below normal for this time of year. We'll see much the same on Thursday, and then on Friday, conditions will start to improve as the system moves out. I'm thinking at least some late day sunshine, especially by the evening hours. We should be over to some sunshine, and then looking brighter for the upcoming weekend. Temperatures also looking warmer too. Kate.
Thank you, Alistair. That's all for now. For more extended video and full online articles, stay tuned to saltwire.com, and you can find us on social media. I'm your host, Kate Walker. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.